with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.
Sports Professor.
Yo, yo, yo. What up? What up? What up, friends? You know what it is. Special Friday edition of The Professor's Semanalmente. Sports and entertainment. Yes, today is all about the sports, all about the entertainment. Let me make sure I sound okay. Do I sound good? I think I may. I do. Yes, we sound good on the old YouTubes, on the interwebs. We are on the Facebook. I am yours truly, Omar, the Professor Fonseca, and this is the Professor's Semanalmente, which just means weekly, you marks. That's all that means, is weekly. And as you notice, there is a new format that we have going forward. I'm going to be doing 2 different episodes a week of the Professor Semanalmente. I will be doing a news. So I'm going to be doing the world news, U.S. news one day. And then the other day, now that I'm no longer with the Bottom Line Sports on that show, I will now be doing my own show, sports and entertainment, and we will be doing that on a different day. I'm going to try to figure out the cadence here for y'all so it's coming on a consistent basis. Right now, we're definitely keeping the Monday show, so that'll probably be the news, world news, U.S. news, although I may switch that later, and then sports and entertainment. Actually, no, I might switch that because there's more sports and entertainment news over the weekend and usually more news during the week. And so I may do the news on Wednesday or Friday. I haven't decided yet. Probably Wednesday. Probably a Monday, Wednesday cadence. So y'all be on the lookout for that. And you don't have to if you're subscribed at Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Please make sure you subscribe at YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. I put up a bunch of good videos today. In this past week, pictures and stuff from Country Box from Tuesday. Jimmy Adams presents Country Box here at the Troubadour in Nashville every first Tuesday of the month, looking to bigger and better things. And what an amazing card it was on Tuesday. And I will talk all about that in a little bit. But shout out to Jimmy Adams and the crew there at Country Box. But I did post a couple video interviews from Savannah Teeny, who had Savannah Teeny. She corrected me, and that's why you hear me at the beginning of the video, because I called her. I'm so used to being in America and calling girls Savannah when they have that name instead of Savannah, which is the much more prettier way to say it anyways. But either way, she corrected me, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's why in the video you hear me say Savannah, because I had to make sure I got it correct. So let me not disrespect her. She is an awesome person and an even better fighter. So crazy. It was really good. Again, shout out to Jimmy and the crew over there. Oliver McCall had a split draw versus Carlos Reyes. Great fight between the two of them. Oliver at 60 years old, you can do nothing but give him credit. You cannot say anything about what that man is doing at this point in time. It is just amazing. So shout out to all of them. But yeah, today we're here for a little sports and entertainment. We're going to update you on the NBA and NHL finals. I'm just trying to get me here on Instagram, so we go live there as well. And also, we're going to have our update on the Sean Diddy Combs trial. I'll give you the update of what's happened here in the past couple weeks since we last talked about that. But yeah, you'll be able to get all that news here today. And then finally, one more note before we actually get into the stuff. This tomorrow, I don't know why I was about to say this Saturday. Tomorrow, Clubber D, the Combat G, and yours truly, the Sports Professor, we will have a combat sports special for UFC 316. Marab Divashwali versus Sean O'Malley, Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. So if you all are wanting to check that out, please check us out tomorrow. That is going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, special Saturday edition. We're going back to the roots, at least for one day. And because what we would do is we used to go on every Saturday and lead right in to UFC, but we moved it to Thursday because it was just easier to go during the week. But now this week, we had to go on Saturday because we both had other commitments during the week. So y'all, make sure you check that out. Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Hit that like button for me if you're watching now. If you're watching on the replay, I really, truly, deeply appreciate if you can hit that like button for me, hit that laugh, that heart, whatever it is that you want to support us with. It does help us out in the algorithm. It is free to you, but it is invaluable to us. So I thank you very much. And we love everyone who supports this program here. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Let's go ahead and kick this bad boy off. All right. Really a bunch of sports news. I'm actually glad I came today. I was going to come on Wednesday. We had some issues with one of my streaming services. As y'all know, I've been trying out different streaming services this week. I was with StreamYard at one point in time. They raised their prices, though, above all their competitors. So I'm trying out different ones. We tried out Riverside. We on Restream today. Riverside didn't work too well for me the other day, so we're going to have to go with either Restream or go back to StreamYard. I am digging Restream so far, so we shall see what happens there. But anyways, yes, thank you all for tuning in. Let us go. All right. First of all, we're going to start with entertainment today. I know we usually go sports and entertainment, but I'm hoping we have a special guest coming on here in a little bit. So we will be going with the entertainment first. But one more programming note that I almost forgot there. We are going to be doing, never mind. What am I talking about? I literally just promoted the UFC show tomorrow that I forgot about. I don't know how I forgot that I promoted it. We keep it moving. All right. First of all, I did not get to say this on Monday because I did not have my slides prepared correctly, but I could not forget my son. I love him so much. I miss you so much. My son, Boozer, the greatest dog in the world, English Bulldog, lived till he was 13, had a great life. I miss you so much, my son. I love you. Had to give you a tribute. His birthday was last Sunday, so shout out to my man who is resting up in doggy heaven. Cool. All right. We love you, Booze, and we miss you. Moving on. Happy CMA Fest week in Bonnaroo. Yes, the next 2 weeks in Nashville, in Tennessee, will be crazy. This is the craziest time of year in Nashville. First of all, if it wasn't so rainy today, you would hear nothing but noise out there, but it's pouring rain, so they've actually halted most of the festivities. I believe that they will still be doing the stadium show this evening at Nissan because obviously that's the big show and you can't really cancel that, but they canceled all the free events. I'm just trying to fix my camera here. I don't know why I didn't do the camera instead of laptop, but anyways, they canceled all the free events for today. I went out last night to Ascend to a concert. It was great. Got to see Colby Calais, Edward McCain, a lot of good other country artists in there. So shout out to all the country artists there this week. The headliners, though, got some good headlines as always. But the good thing about the Country Music Fest, even if you don't like country music, you'll appreciate this fact, is that they bring the best of the best every year. So it's not just like other festivals, like I'm going to talk about Bonnaroo in a second, where they bring just the hottest artist of the year or of the moment or of the time, of the zeitgeist, as the word is used. What a tremendous word for a Puerto Rican on a live TV show. But the good thing about the Country Music Festival is that they always bring the top artists every year. And it's probably because they only have like a couple of these. They got the one in Vegas, they got the one in Austin, and they got the one here. So that's usually why. But yeah, this is where, I mean, all the stars. So, I mean, it doesn't even matter who, if you are a country music artist, you're most likely going to be here. So I'm not even going to go through all the names. But just to name a few. Blake Shelton will be there. Shout out to Blake Shelton, by the way, whose bar and restaurant I've got to give them a shout out. Victoria over there. Awesome. Thank you so much for helping me. I was walking around Broadway last night with my buddy, and I dropped my phone out of my pocket somehow. I didn't even realize it. And I pinged it this morning. Come to find out, it was over there, and so thankfully some nice soul turned it in for me, and I was able to find it there. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, Darius Rucker is going to be in town. That's pretty awesome. You got Brooks and Dunn in town. So, I mean, a lot of the heavy hitters are going to be out this weekend. Jason Aldean, shout out to Jason Aldean. That was VIP at his club a couple weeks ago. Had a great time. Thank you, sir, for having me in your presence. Who else is going to be there? Let me see if there's anyone else. Kelsey Ballerini. Let's see, Luke Bryan. Obviously, I was at Luke Bryan's 32 a couple weeks ago. We're going to get into that in just a second. That's why I'm naming some of these people, because it's going to tie into the story I'm about to hit you with in a second. Shout out to it's Rashad or Rashid maybe, but he is a country music artist or a country music rap artist. He does like a rap country mix. Black guy, but his music is awesome. I really like his music. I just found out about him this year, but I do like his music. It's a little, like I said, rap country thing. So if you can check him out, he actually spells his artist name weirdly, but it's pretty cool. It's RVSHVD. Cool. So definitely check him out. I really enjoyed his music. Shabuzi, the controversial Shabuzi, will be there from VA. I did not find that out until a couple weeks ago. I did not know that. That still does not make me take back my criticism from the song. Okay? I'm never going to take back my criticism. I don't care if he is from VA and maybe even from Woodbridge, my homie from the hometown. Maybe. I don't know where he's from. I think he's from somewhere around there. It don't matter. What does matter, I don't take away from the criticism of the song. He still bit off Jaquan for that song. That chorus, that hook, is a complete bite of Jaquan's Tipsy, and I don't appreciate it. But shout out, because it is catchy, and I do be singing to it. And, hey, he had a little controversy at the Country Music Awards last week. We'll actually talk about that, other things on Banter Brawls and Bravado here in a couple weeks. Next couple weeks, we'll be doing that show again. But yeah, CMA Fest in Bonnaroo is a crazy time here in Nashville. Let me give you the lineup of Bonnaroo. They do them back-to-back weekends. CMA Fest first, Bonnaroo next weekend. By the way, I miss Bonnaroo. I went to Bonnaroo. Shout out to my boys Sean and Chris Hennessy and all the rest of the crew. All of them. I just too many to mention, but I love you all. They took me out there. 17 and 18 for Bonnaroo we went. It was such a great time. I haven't been lately because I don't really care for a lot of the artists that they've been having lately, but that might just be because I'm getting older and the music stays young, but I don't know, whatever. But let's hit you off. Luke Combs and Dom Dalla, and get this, ICP, Insane Clown Posse. They all performed Thursday night. Friday night, you got Tyler, the Creator. That's pretty cool. I do like that. And Megadeth, the classic, metal, the original, some of the original OGs of the heavy metal genre of music. Saturday, you got Olivia Rodrigo and Avril Lavigne, sighting. She was popular when I was in middle school or something. That's a throwback. Avril Lavigne and Nelly. I didn't even realize Nelly was performing on Saturday. I am not a Nelly fan, never have been, never will be. I thought his music was, mostly it's like Lil Wayne and Drake, like for popularity, for girls, for radio play, not something for me. Action Bronson, though, is going to be there Saturday, and that's going to be awesome. And if there were other good people on that Saturday, I would think about going to see an Action Bronson, but I don't want to see any of the rest of those people, so I'm not wasting my time. And then finally, Sunday, Vampire Weekend, Queens of the Stone Age, and Hozier, who I've never even heard of. Hozier? Never even heard of them. But apparently they're headlining on Sunday. And usually that's when they play the older artists. so I probably should know who they are, but I've never actually heard of them. I'm going to have to look them up later, and actually I'm going to type them in now so I do not forget. Actually, I might as well just tell you who they are. Hozier is it's just one artist. It's one guy from Ireland. Interesting. I'm going to check out his music later. There's a fun fact for you. All right. Anyways, just wanted to hit y'all off with that. What we got going on here? We got one watching on the U-Tizzle. We got a chat coming in. Let me check my chat. Okay, my producer says everything is good. I appreciate you, producer. Thank you very much. Love you. Thank you for helping me out there. All right. So, anyways, let's see. All right. There we go. Moving on to the next subject at hand. Yes, you already know we got to update you on the Sean Diddy Combs trial. And yes, again, we will talk about this on Banter, Brawls, and Bravado here in a couple weeks. So don't you worry. We will get all of the opinions of Clubber D, Bajuan Malve, and Mr. Michael Weeby. And we'll talk all about this in deeper detail. But I like to keep you updated on this program. So, wow. A lot of things have happened since I talked about this a couple weeks ago. We have had testimonies coming from every which way, every which fashion, just testimonies. Wait a second. Where did my thing go? Testimonies from all of these parties that came in to talk about how Diddy is running this enterprise. Now, this is the thing about this. This case is a federal case about racketeering and conspiracy, otherwise known as RICO, sexual assault, I believe, is one of the charges, and sexual prostitution across state lines is another charge here. Besides getting into all of the sexual stuff, which we are not going to do today, we will talk about that on Banter, Balls, and Bravado. But my mother is watching right now, so I'm not going to talk about that now. But let's just say that a lot of disgusting and defamatory things were done to women by allegedly by Mr. Diddy. Mr. Diddy Combs. And so we've heard different stories and testimonies from people. One of the most poignant, wow, what an amazing word for a Puerto Rican on a live TV show. Shout out my brother Conan. Hope you're doing well, my friend. But anyways, the most poignant testimony came from a lady who I'm not going to name her name here. Y'all can go look it up. But anyways, she testified that Diddy actually held her over a balcony for about 15 seconds, threatening her. So I still do not see the RICO charge. Now, I know I watched Ashley Banfield, who comes after Chris Cuomo on News Nation. They do a great job. She was talking about it. Laura Coates on CNN has been doing an amazing job covering it. Her show is about that every night. It's great. But anyways, Banfield was talking about how she sees the RICO in this case. I do not. I still do not see where people have been threatened due to the business enterprise. I have heard people being threatened and extorted due to the sexual parties and things like that, but I have not heard that in terms of business. Now, there was one part of the story where Diddy apparently used a worker of the company to handle some sort of business, so that could be construed possibly as RICO, and I'm sure at some point they'll get something out of it, but it's been pretty explosive. The judge issued warnings yesterday to Diddy and his crew, and his lawyers, letting them know that if Diddy keeps looking at the jury, he is going to be expunged from his own federal case, which you cannot do. That's not even legal as a judge. I don't think you can do that just for looking at a jury. But I do get the nuance of what the judge is saying, because if Diddy is looking at the jury, it could be construed as him trying to influence the jury somehow, some way. So regardless, we'll see what happens there. Again, I don't actually believe he can throw him out, but I guess He could try. It just seems like you would not want to do that to somebody who's actually possibly facing life in prison due to this. They should probably be allowed to at least be part of that process. So, again, just a bunch of craziness going on. I will keep you updated on this. But yeah, if you want more in depth, Laura Coates does a great job every night. Their program is focused on that. I believe that's 11 p.m. on East Coast CNN as well. Ashley Banfield has been covering it a lot on News Nation, same time. So you might have to go back and forth if you want to see them both, like I do. But yeah, good discourse there, and we'll figure out what's going to happen to Diddy. Will he go to jail for life? What is going to occur here? We will find out. And I'll keep you updated here on the Professor's Semanalmente. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Instagram. Bunch of good videos, pictures, stuff like that going up. And now we move on to our sports portion of the program. Please hit that like button if you're watching now or on the replay. It definitely helps us out. All right, cool. Man, oh man, it's the final count. I'm not going to sing that because I do not want to get a copyright or get sued. So just know that we are in the finals of the NHL, National Hockey League, and the NBA, the National Basketball Association. And we have two major matchups going on. Yes, I know you may think Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers is not a major matchup because they're from little markets. We'll talk about that in just a second. Or you may think the Florida Panthers versus the Edmonton Oilers in hockey is not a premier matchup because it's a repeat of the same finals last year. But I disagree wholeheartedly on both of those arguments. And if you are one to argue that, I do not agree with you. And that was proven in the first two games of these finals. They have not disappointed at all. First of all, let's go to Wednesday night, setting the scene. Edmonton Oilers. I forgot to get my slides ready. There we go. All right. So the NHL playoffs featuring the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers. You can see that bracket there, but all you need to know is what is in the middle. So what happened Wednesday night? What an awesome game. Went to overtime. Drama was high. You could cut as Gorilla Monsoon, may he rest in peace, used to say, the tension is so thick you can cut it with a knife. But anyways, they had the game on Wednesday. The Oilers won game one in overtime. Again, just a beautiful game winner. It came off a pass off of Connor McDavid. So Connor McDavid is the Oilers superstar, but don't get it twisted. They also have Leon Draisaitl, who is also one of the best players in the world, and McDavid's running mate. So what happened? It was 3-3. It goes into overtime. I'm telling you, a great game. And it goes all the way down to the end of overtime. I believe it was 45 seconds left in overtime or something like that, something close to that. I don't remember the exact time, excuse me. But either way, McDavid with a beautiful pass sets up Leon Draisaitl, right stick hand for the goal, upper right corner. It was the dreaded puck over glass rule in hockey. And you're asking me, Omar, what does that mean? Let the sports professor learn you. What that means in hockey is when you are playing defense in hockey, you are obviously defending the goal and trying to defend the the person that you're defending, right, from getting the puck, or if they have the puck, from being able to pass or shoot. Cool. So what happens is when you have a puck handler such as McDavid, who is, again, one of the best in the world, if not the best hockey player in the world right now, you have choices on defense. You can attack the puck to try to defend the puck with, a defender coming up and attacking and another defender coming up who is usually supposed to be that protector around the net at that point in time. Well, what happens is when you attack the puck, a lot of times, and this is sometimes, especially when bad defense comes into play, the glass side will be left open. So that's what the puck over glass rule kind of means. And it just really exposes the backside of your defense, that glass side. So when they went to attack McDavid with the puck, he was very easily able to slide a pass open to a wide open Leon Draisaitl by the glass, went upper shelf. So what an amazing game one. I am super excited for both of these series because, let's face it, game one in the NBA was just as good. Let's set the scene. Last night, Paycom Center, Oklahoma City Thunder. They got the best home court in the league, the best defense in the league. They got SGA, the MVP of the league. They got Chet Holmgren, another star. And they were going up against the Indiana Pacers. Never count them out, especially this year. The Indiana Pacers with Tyrese, don't call me Urkel, Halliburton. Holla if you hear me. Wowzers. Mr. Halliburton continues to amaze in these playoffs. Let me give you a quick sports professor's fact of the day. Tyrese Halliburton now has 5 go-ahead or game-winning shots. Six now with last night. Go-ahead or game-winning shots in the last 90 seconds of the game in these playoffs. The most since 1997-98. Shout out to Halliburton, who at one point in time was called the most overrated player in the league in a survey by other people. Now, I think he took that kind of personally. And he said, nah, we ain't doing that. The legend lives on. I will be nailing these shots in your face all day, even though I didn't have a good game. He didn't play very well for the first 47 minutes of the game, but that's not what matters, because he might as well be the new Big Shot. Forget Big Shot Bob. I'm talking Big Shot Holly. Big Shot Halliburton, baby. This is crazy. Just the way that he overshadowed SGA's 38-point game to upset Oklahoma City and take game one. I told y'all needed to watch out for Indiana in this sort of situation, in a game one situation where they can be overlooked. And that's exactly what happened. I predicted that the Indiana Pacers would take game one. They did, but I do not have them winning. I still have the Thunder winning this series in 6. So we will see if that comes to fruition. Either way, we will, again, as I mentioned last week, have a new champion for the 7th consecutive season in a row, which is the first time in league history that has ever been done. The Pacers have never won a championship. The Thunder have not won since 1978-79 when they were in Seattle as the Supersonics. Now, looking at the rest of this series, you've got to focus on the fact that Oklahoma City's Thunder led for most of this game and led by at least 15 at one point. The Pacers only won at the end of the game. While the NHL was a little bit tighter, this still tells me that Oklahoma City is still the better team. Pacers stole one, good for them. Just can't see it to continuing to happen. Oklahoma City Thunder is too good of a team. So again, we will keep you updated next week when we come on. We will be about halfway through these finals, as what they are doing is going back and forth between NBA and NHL. So you're going to have one game one day, one game another day. We may have some days with no games, but that's how they decide to do it. And I think that's the best way to do it. So everybody, any sports fan that likes all sports like myself, can go ahead and watch as much as they want. Now, Are OKC going to give Halliburton and Anthony Edwards treatment like they did to Ant-Man last series? If they're able to lock him down and double him and make sure that he's not able to get his shots off at all times, even at the end of the game. Because, again, he didn't have that great of a game because they did lock him down. But if you're still not locking him down in the game situations, then it really doesn't matter. So we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, one fun fact about this that I want to say before we move on, because usually, we see teams and they have some sort of like tie between them usually, but there has never been a tie as big as this. Both the Thunder and the Pacers, check this, y'all, acquired significant parts of their teams and including their best players by trading one player who was traded from both teams. Does anyone know who that is watching? Anyone know who that is? I'm sure all my basketball fans know who that is. But yes, you are correct if you're thinking it. It is Paul George, Mr. Paul George. So what happened? Paul George started his career with the Pacers, being selected number 10 in the 2010 draft, played 7 years, 4 All-Star games, 3 All-NBA teams, back-to-back conference finals appearances. But then in 2017, he was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder traded away Victor Oladipo, Domantas Sabonis. Those two Pacers made the All-Star game, but after Oladipo was injured, they moved on from him. Sabonis later moved on as well. A year later, though, the Pacers signed Halliburton to a 5-year deal as the franchise face. He has now obviously taken them to the finals, but it gets deeper. Andrew Nembhard was indirectly acquired through the George trade as well, because when Oladipo was traded to the Rockets in 2021 for Karis LeVert, he was then traded to, what a throwback name, Karis LeVert, was then traded, he probably still in the league, to the Cavaliers in 2022. The Pacers acquired several picks, including the pick at number 31 they used to take Andrew Nembhard. But wait, there's more. It gets deeper. The Thunder then acquired SGA, as we know, the MVP of this year, by trading Paul George to the Clippers. They got SGA, Danilo Gallinari, who they then traded to the Celtics, and he got hurt. What a horrible trade that was for us, but that doesn't matter here or there. 5 first-round picks and 2 first-round player swaps might be the worst trade in NBA history in terms of what they acquired back for just one. I guess you can say, well, no, just one player. It was just one player. No one else went back. That's right. Anyways, so look, George was great in Oklahoma City. He finished in MVP voting in his final 2 years, second and third. So it made sense for them to want to trade. I still think that was way too much to give up with, especially now that he left for Philadelphia, and now that SGA has become the MVP of the league and you traded Paul George for him. But how crazy is that? Now wait, it gets even deeper. Last summer SGA wasn't the only player that the Thunder received in that trade. Oklahoma City used the Clippers' 2022 first-round pick to select all NBA defensive player Jalen Williams. How crazy is that, y'all? So many pieces were acquired from Paul George. You know what? I am going to bat for Paul George, and I am going to say Paul George deserves a ring. From whoever wins, Paul George deserves a damn ring, because neither one of y'all will have a ring whichever one wins it. Neither one of y'all would have that ring if it wasn't for Paul George. Paul George, call me up if you need help. I will lobby for you, but you deserve a ring for either of these teams, because that's crazy that you basically, you being traded by both of these teams allowed them to stockpile to the point where they made the NBA Finals against each other. You, my friend, are a special human being for that. That is crazy. All right, cool. Well, that is it for our NHL and NBA playoffs. We will update you next week on everything. But as for now, let's keep it moving. And I was Oh, damn it. I keep forgetting. See, I keep forgetting when I'm I keep forgetting when I do my slides that I got to change them when I'm looking at my notes. So that whole time I didn't even have my NBA slide up while I was talking. That's okay. I can go put it back in post edit. Let's get to some comments here. The House of Silver and Gold, shout out. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you. Says Indiana and OKC are both trash. The NBA is watered down. Wow. Wow. Sir and or ma'am, I don't know. But I I I cannot agree with OKC being trash. I know they get a lot of hate because they have all the draft picks, because they get some whistles they may not deserve. SGA is and the rest of the crew, they're kind of corny, right? They got the corny commercials and things like that. So a lot of people agree with you, but as an actual basketball team, I mean, they are stacked. You got SGA, the MVP. There's no doubt about it that he is one of the best players in the league. Chet Holmgren is a budding star in the league. You got Jalen Williams, all NBA defensive player. And then on top of that, you got other good defensive pieces. Luguentz Dortz, another all NBA defense. And Alex Caruso, which was a great trade when they traded the alleged womanizer Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso. What a great trade that was for them. So I do not agree that OKC is trash. The Pacers are not trash either. They're just neither one of the teams are that. Well, no, that's not true. The Thunder are exciting to me. The Pacers a little less so. They both do come from small markets, so I definitely understand that. Pacers not as much fun to watch. Trash is a little harsh. Their game is a little hard to take, especially when you have to watch them in a 7-game series. But to make the finals in general is hard if you're not a good team. And I know, Boston went down and they didn't have to put up with them, but even to make it this far is very, very difficult. Shout out to my brother, Hot Take Jake. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I try to be the GOAT when I can, and you know what it is. This is how I do it. You say Thunder in 5. I don't know why you continue to do this to yourself. You do realize that means they would have to win all of the next 4 games. And I'm not saying that that's not possible or that it's not likely, but it's just very hard to do. Why wouldn't you just go with 6? It would be a more logical choice. House of Gold comes in again. SGA shot the ball 30 times and made 12 of them. It's laughable. You're not wrong about that, sir. You are not wrong about that. A lot of shots he takes, but he is also the main creator and the main shot maker on that team. He is the MVP, so he does deserve the ball at all times. Should he pass up the ball a little more? I probably would, but that's not necessarily indicative of him as a whole. If you look at indicative, what a great word. When you look at his season statistics, especially shooting almost 50 from the field, I mean, he's a really, really good player. So it's not likely you're going to get those games all the time. Do they happen? Yes, you are right about that. But it's not that he's not a great player. Amul, thank you for tuning in, my brother Amul Madan here. Did you do the homework I assigned you via IG? Not yet. I did see that you sent me the message, but I have not had a chance to check it out. I've been really busy since Country Box on Tuesday editing videos, and then I've been out for CMA Fest and stuff, but I will check it out. Let's see. Amul says, after Game 1, Legend has the Pacers and Thunder will play till Silver agrees to award the franchise to Vegas and return the Sonics to Seattle. That is tremendous. I agree. Seattle deserves a team again, so they should get the next expansion team. It was horrible that they were ever taken away, but it turned out well for Oklahoma City and the Thunder, who are, again, a good team. That's funny, though. It's going to be a good series. I think it's going to, I think the Thunder is still going to win, but if we see games like we did last night, every game, I'm going to be very happy with both NBA and NHL. Amul says, SGA loves free throws more than Charles Barkley did in his playing days. He is a free throw merchant, he says. You're not wrong. And that's one thing that I will agree with House of Silver and Gold on is that he does get a lot of calls and he does flop a lot. And so he does get to the line, but that does make people not like your game when you do stuff like that. So you got to be careful because a lot of people don't like LeBron's game because he flops and all this other stuff. Now, obviously, LeBron's greatness cannot be denied. And maybe SGA will get to that point one day. He's not there yet. But, yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like how he flops for fouls either. Clubber D, my brother tuning in, says Sonics in 6. Yes, I agree, my friend. That's what I got as well. All right, cool. Thank you for everybody commenting and tuning in. Again, make sure you subscribe to Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS, and please hit that like button if you're watching. It really helps us out. Cool. All right, let's get to some more sports notes before we get out of here for the night. We got a couple more minutes here to go, but I do want to run through some quick hitters. If you have not been – oh, no, hold on. I forgot. One more thing before we move on. Did you hear that the call from last night's game by a Korean broadcast team on the Halliburton call? It was amazing, and I'm going to play it for you now because I need y'all to hear this. Amul shouts in, rumor has it SGA goes to the Venice fish market helping fishermen at the arena. He's fishing for a lot of things, fouls and compliments. Where they do those corny sideline interviews. I do agree with House of Silver and Gold. They are corny, right? The Thunder and the Pacers. But it doesn't mean that they're not good teams. Now, let me go ahead and hit y'all off with this call. You are going to love this. So check this out. It comes from the NBA's Twitter account. Let me make sure I can do that with the sound, though. Hold on, because I want to do it with the sound. Hold on one second. Oh, there we go. So I'm going to just, let's see, play the Korean.
바깥에 없이 가요.
자, 언더독인 인디애나가 익숙한 상황을 맞이한다. 할리버튼 버튼을 흔들어.
What a great call. That was so good. I love when you get good calls from foreign language announcers. That was just amazing. I don't know if you could even hear that. I shared the screen. Could you hear that, Amul or Clubber? Can someone tell me if they actually heard that? Because it didn't ask me if I could share with sound like it usually does on StreamYard. So I don't even know if you could hear that. I'm hoping it shared automatically with sound. If not, go look up the Korean broadcast call for the Halliburton shot. It's tremendous. All right, so moving on. Baseball, MLB, let's give you your power rankings for the week. Oh, you heard it? Great. Awesome. Yes, Amul chimes in, says, the Korean call is fantastic. Can we get them to call every – yeah, right? Yes, exactly. It's like in football, American football, not soccer, where the Spanish language announcers will be calling the football game like they're calling soccer. It's like, oh, and they be instead of saying goal, touchdown. But obviously, I'm not using as a Spanish person, that was a horrible Spanish accent in imitation. Anyways, so shout out. Let's get here first real quick. I'll come right back to that. Okay, so MLB power rankings for the week. The Detroit Tigers, y'all, if you have not been paying attention to baseball, the Tigers just 6 years ago in 2019 lost 114 games. Just 3 years ago in 2022, they lost 96 games. This year, they are the best team in the league. They got the reigning Cy Young, reigning Triple Crown Award winner Tarek Skubal, who is just still killing the game this year. And the Tigers are standing on top, number one in your MLB power rankings. And number two, the Los Angeles Dodgers. But don't get it twisted. They played my Mets this weekend, and my Mets we should not have split. We threw away that game yesterday. literally threw away that game yesterday. If you watched the game and you saw the play between Beatty and Alvarez, literally threw away the game with a horrible throw, looking like the damn bad news Bears out there. Horrible. We should have won 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers. Instead, we split. But still, I think we can actually be the better team if our pitching holds up. At number 3, the Chicago Cubs, the surprising Chicago Cubs with PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. Who is that, Omar? Pete Crow Armstrong, if you haven't heard of him, is the budding superstar on the Chicago Cubs. Why do I know him so well? Because he was drafted by my Mets, who traded him to Seattle for damn Robinson Cano, who then got suspended for PEDs. Damn it, man. So you're telling me they got a future MVP from us, well, not directly from us through Seattle, for 1 year of Robinson Cano? Man, I don't even remember the GM's name that made that trade. You're very lucky I don't remember your name, because I would call you out right now. I do remember what he looks like, and he wasn't even like a GM. They had pulled him from like entertainment or something, which tells you why you shouldn't do things like that. But anyways, I digress. At number 4, the Philadelphia Phillies. Yes, the Philadelphia Phillies at number 4 in your power rankings. And then finally, at number 5, the aforementioned New York Metropolitans, my Mets. You see the hat. Yes, I got the spring training hat from this year because it was awesome and it looks really cool. And it got Mr. Met on the front. Holla at your boy. The Mets are looking amazing this year. We have slumped a little in the past couple weeks, going about 500, but hopefully we will be able to pick it back up if Juan Soto can get in the groove. Now, Juan Soto is having a tough time this year, but it usually happens like that. It happened to Francisco Lindor. It happened to Mike Piazza. It's just when people come to the Mets, it's the big city, the big apple, the bright lights, the media, and it's hard. It's harder. It's much harder than any other place in baseball is in New York. So is he not having a Soto-like year? No. Is he still having a year that you would want one of your best players to have? Yes. He's still having a great year. He just hasn't got very lucky with his hits. His launch angle is down, but his hard hit velocity is still one of the tops in the majors. So you're going to expect to have some positive regression in that aspect. So anyways, we'll see what happens there, and we'll keep you updated. Amul says, Jeff Passan, shout out Jeff, my brother at ESPN. Tigers might go to the World Series. I might. Yes. All right, now you got the Tigers and Yankees fighting it out for top in the AL. You got the Dodgers and Mets and Cubs and Phillies fighting it for the top 2 in the NL. I'll go with Dodgers and Mets because I'm a Mets fan. But anyways, Passan is definitely going right on that. He also says, I'll hold my peace on your Mets. MLB Power Rankings will also say the Nats are ranked 20th and the Red Sox are ranked 50th when there are only 50 teams in the league. No, they are not. And honestly, the Red Sox are having a much better year this year than they have in the past, and they are a threat to possibly make the playoffs. Your Red Sox, they're not your Red Sox anymore because you're a traitor and you decided to become a Nats fan after years and years and years of being a Red Sox fan. Little side eye for you there, Amul. Little side eye. Yeah, I called you out. He's having a tough time because the Mets need to treat him better, bro. I don't think that's the case at all. They have gone above and beyond the treatment for Soto. They give his family free travel and seats at games. They've acquiesced. What an amazing word for a Puerto Rican on a live TV show. They acquiesced to him a lot already, and more than most teams would. So I believe that that's not the issue there. I think that he's just a little bit of struggling at the top, as is wont to happen in New York, as I mentioned. You cannot like 2 teams, sir. That is not true at all. We have talked about this many of times. I'm going to have Clubber D on hopefully in a little bit. That's my surprise. He says he's going to be on in 10. And I am going to ask him what he thinks about that, Amol, because I know what he's going to say, because we believe the same. You cannot have two teams, okay? You only have one team in each professional league. You can't root for both teams, because then what happens if they make the World Series? It's not allowed. Not allowed, Amol. Be a true sports fan, my friend, and I know you are. All right. Thank you, my friend, for tuning in. Everybody hit that like button if you're watching or on the replay. Like I said, hopefully in about 10 minutes, Club Adida Combat G will be joining us. He says, I saw your side eye. We'll cover it next time I'm on your show. Yes, sir, we will. I'll have you on soon enough. All right, cool. So moving on into some other news, the Women's College World Series. Y'all, have you been watching the Women's College World Series? If you have not, you are missing out, and you need to get your head checked. Texas versus Texas Tech. This is the rivalry of all rivalries. Probably not but it's one of the biggest college rivalries. And let's be completely honest here. NIL has played a huge factor in Texas Tech being in the World Championship of women's softball. Why? Because last year, their NIL collective paid $1 million to lure Nigeri Kennedy from Stanford to Texas Tech 2 years ago. Paid her $1 million. She came to Texas Tech. She's worth way more than $1 million, because them being in the finals of the World Series, they're going to make more than $1 million from that, off of merch and tickets and everything else and publicity. And she is the best pitcher in softball, hands down. She is amazing. And although game one, they lost because, unfortunately, as Najee would tell you, she made a bad series of pitches that allowed Renee Atwood on Texas to win with a 2-run single. Didn't matter. Last night, Texas Tech came back to win. Najee Kennedy striking out, or not striking out, but getting out the last, or getting out pretty much everybody in the whole game and winning the game for Texas Tech. Game 3 is coming up on tonight. Actually, it's on right now. Oh, well, that will tell me. Let me go get an update for you on the score there. So let me get you a score update here. What do we have going on? I am navigating to ESPN. Shout out ESPN. Oh, there we go. There's another update. 1-0 in the NHL game. Florida is up 1-0 over the Edmonton Oilers. Remember, Oilers won game 1. Game just started, 3 minutes into the game, and the Panthers have already scored. Remember, Panthers won last year. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed champions. And Texas Tech, Texas, in the bottom of the first right now, a 0-0 game. So if you're looking for any of those games, go ahead and watch them, but not yet. You got to wait 10 more minutes until I get off. I'm going to wait till Clubber D gets on. We're going to introduce the show tomorrow. Just test out for a couple minutes to see how it works with the 2-man booth, so we can make sure we're good for Saturday. And then I'm getting off because I want to go watch the games. But a couple more quick hitters. First of all, NFL news. Aaron Rodgers is signing with who? Clutch B's Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the 4-time MVP plans to sign for the Steelers, and he plans to attend mandatory minicamp next week. What do you think about that? Any thoughts on Aaron Rodgers? Will he make a difference, or is he, as Skip Bayless said earlier today, washed? I personally believe that he showed enough at the end of the year last year, not the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year after more time. Because remember, an Achilles takes a couple years to come back from. So the fact that he, 2 years after is when we should expect it, just like we did when you had the Kevin Durant injury, right? It took him a couple years to get back. So now you have to look at it like that. Aaron Rodgers will now be 2 years removed from this injury. And I think, even at 41, he may be able to make a difference for the Steelers. The Steelers have a good enough team around them, and all they needed was a quarterback. And if they can go 9-8 with, Mason Rudolph and whoever the hell else they've run there in the past few years, these bunch of Joe Johns and nobodies, then I think Aaron Rodgers can possibly, I'm not calling it, possibly get them to the playoffs. Possibly. I'm glad you liked my Aaron Rodgers impression. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Oh. When it Oh. I screamed myself hoarse. I screamed myself hoarse on that one. Excuse me. I'm dying. I need the Heimlich. Rodgers isn't washed. Heard he was a decent mahjong player. Mahjong, interesting. I love mahjong. I am really good at mahjong. That's a secret talent of mine. I am very good at that game. I haven't played that game in a while. I'm gonna play some tonight. Thank you, Amul, for bringing that to me. You think he's mostly done? Okay, well, we'll see. We shall see. A couple other comments from Amul here that I missed. Let me go back real quick. You can't have one team in each division. If both teams are in the World Series, you root for the team you came in with per your ancestors. House of Atreus thing. So I'd root for the Red Sox. Okay. I'm assuming that's a Game of Thrones reference, and you know I never watched that show. Okay, I don't have time for that. That's a long ass show, and I don't feel like watching that whole damn thing. Not to mention, I mean, I don't know, not too much in the sci-fi and fantasy and things like that. So we'll see what happens there. Clubber Diaz just got into the back, so we are going to bring him in just a moment. The women's softball College World Series has been amazing. It has. Go Oilers! Bring the cup back to Canada. Well, like you said, Canada has not won a cup in forever. I don't remember how many years it's been, but they haven't won a cup in a long, long time. I think this would be the first time in I want to say 9 or 10 years. Anyways, okay, and he says House of Atreya is a Greek reference. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, Clubber D, we're going to bring him in. Oh, wait, what happened? Did he just, he was here. Oh, no. Clubber, if you can hear me, come back. I saw you. I was just about to bring you in. I just wanted to go through those comments, but if you can hear me, come back. I just got to click that link to let you in. It's a little different than StreamYard. The link comes up at the top, and so it's not like a backstage kind of thing. But anyways, jump back on, my brother. All right. A couple more news, and then I want to talk to Clubber D about a couple of these things. Knicks fired Coach Tom Thibodeau after their best season in 25 years. He had $20 million left on his contract and still has you in. Oh, I see you. Okay, cool. All right. I don't know how to. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Cool. Awesome. All right. I see it now. All right. Cool. Well, that being said, get to those notes and just. Actually, one more note before we bring him in because. Not going to bring him in for this. Magnus Carlsen, chess. If y'all remember last week, I said he tied 43,000 people online in a chess game that he played. This week, he was beat for the first time in forever. The number one world chess player lost to Gukesh Damaraju, who is a 19-year-old chess phenom. What an upset. And on that note, we will bring in Clubber D, the Combat G. Yes, sir. What up, my brother?
Yerp.
How's it going today, my friend?
Yerp to the yerp. All right. What's this about somebody having two teams? They jumped right on my head too.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to take it off. I'm gonna have to make it smaller for the next time. Let's see. Yeah. So Amul was a Red Sox fan when I first met him, and then when the Nats became a thing. Back in the couple of years ago or whatever, he decided that he was going to become a Nats fan, and now he supports both teams. How do you feel about this situation?
I mean, only women or children. Women or children usually have two teams because women just fair weather sometimes, not all. Kids, they just like try to bandwagon, pick on whatever. You can't just love a certain team or be with them for a certain amount of time and then just switch sides like that. Like, what are you, the sports Superman? You hop in the booth, turn around and switch the team. Do I like Virginia Tech at 1:00 and then turn to Alabama at 4? You can't do that. That's just, life is all. Oh my God, nothing. Life is all about ups and downs and failures. Okay, if your team sucks, deal with it. Don't jump on a bandwagon back when they're good again and be like, oh yeah, I was there from the jump. No. You don't share that passion with another team. You share it with one team. Okay, one team.
Get
out of here with that.
I love it. I love it. Getting me so hyped up.
Jesus.
Move your camera down a little bit so we can see that beautiful ball and buzz shirt.
Nah, if it goes too, I ain't wearing pants. So,
Hilarious.
let's
That
get
is
out the
too
shower.
funny. Okay,
I'm
so
naked.
first of all, did you hear about the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau? What do you think about that?
Yeah, man, I happened like the other day. Of course. I mean, that's I agree to disagree with it because he got them to a certain point. It's not his fault that Brunson and Cat don't play defense. He can't. I mean, he could tell them to play defense, but if they don't want to play defense, that's not on him. Brunson's phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash on him, but he's defensive liability. Like they hide him in the defense, like they hide Steph Curry. If he's that bad, if he's not as a great defender, hide him. Or Cat, you're 7 foot. You got to do better. You got to do better. See what they do with Porzingis and people like that. Like you cannot be that vocal point on offense and then just be lackadaisical on defense. So,
no, you hit it directly on the head, especially when Tom Thibodeau is a defensive coach, and that's supposed to be your specialty. And I said when they went out, I said I had a feeling it's possible that he could have been let go because I kind of just saw the writing on the wall, like they just weren't getting to it. I think they had just hit a wall, and they're just at a point where they need maybe a different voice or something. I don't know. Because if you're a defensive coach and you still have those many defensive problems and you're running your players into the ground, you're going to start to develop an issue with your players.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I hope they have somebody in mind that's going to take over, but if they don't, then they're up shit's creek. And I don't, that's the thing when you fire your coach, you got to have a backup plan. You can't just be like the Suns and just hire whoever. Last time we had Terry Porter, then Igor Volchansky, whatever his name was, and then we fired. Did we fire him or trade him? Guy took us to the finals in the Pistons. He got fired. He got fired.
Yeah, Monty Williams.
Monty Williams, yeah, from Fredericksburg.
Yeah, he got fired. He's from Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay.
So, it's one of those things where if you don't have a backup plan, then what's the point of even doing it, And Ron Artest is saying he wants to do it. I'm like, Ron.
Oh, my God. What?
Go ahead, sit down somewhere.
I'm glad you brought that up because that is a great segue to the Suns who actually hired a coach today. Do you remember the name of it? Because I can't find it.
James Ott, I believe, or something like that.
James Ott, that's what it is. Cleveland Cavaliers assistant coach. How do you feel about that?
And shout out to the Suns owner who's about to be the owner of my White Sox.
That was my next story. Yes, that was my next story.
I know they did spring training down in Arizona at the Cactus League, but how do I feel about it? I asked the homie Dave before for that guy Dave, our guy at the Athletic. I asked him about it, and he was similar. His answer was like mine, like who? But I think he wrote cheap, and I said, okay, my thought exactly. I think it's gonna be I hope it's a good story, but I think it's just more of a filler coach for him to get somebody else because they're going to probably trade Durant. I don't think they're going to trade Booker, but our luxury tax is so high, we're kind of stuck like Chuck when it comes to that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, at this point, you probably have to trade Durant, I would assume.
So. Yeah, we got to get draft picks. I love that the Rockets got our 10th pick overall, but it is what it is. So we're kind of SOL when it comes to picks.
Yeah, well, shout out Dave DeFore, our brother, that guy Dave. Hey, Dave, I'm sending you a message. I want to get you on with Man Down Sports Mel and Unfair Sports Jay for a basketball roundtable. So let me know. I want to do that after the season, so get at me. Anyway, so how do you feel about Jerry Reinsdorf finally selling the White Sox to the Ishiba family?
Well, I mean, I don't live in Chicago, but all the local fans, none of them, they don't like him. He's been a terrible owner for quite some time, and I think
dating back to the days of the Bulls.
Yeah, pretty much. And thinking on the Suns side, Saver, whatever his name was, he was a terrible cheap ass owner for the Suns, and then we got Ishbula, what's his name? How you pronounce it? Ishiba. You have him. He spent the money. It made us. We got to a certain point with him, got to the finals, but his style is wearing thin of just buying players. And I was hitting the homie Eric up about it. It was also a White Sox fan. I said, dude, we'll have like 2 or 3 veterans that are over the hill, but we're going to overpay for them. And the rest of the roster is going to be, me out there, people from the Prince William Cannon's out there.
Prince William Cannon.
So it's going to be top heavy with like 2 or 3 people. And then the rest are just going to be womp womp.
Mm-hmm.
Sit down, dog.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Okay, cool. One more story. TNT 36-year run of Inside the NBA is over, but they will be moving on to ESPN and keeping the show on. How do you feel about that long 36-year run being over at TNT?
It sucks, they're keeping the structure, and isn't NBC coming back or having
Yes.
Jordan?
Oh,
So
they're bringing back the round ball rock
Yeah.
anthem too. I can't wait.
So I do like the old school kind of coming back. If they can not have the same restrictions and kind of be themselves like they are on TNT, I don't have a problem with it. It's just a different channel. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, football when it went to Amazon Prime. Like, oh my God, what's going on? Acting like you're not gonna watch it. Yes, you're gonna watch it. So
right. You still watch it anyway.
I don't think that's really, as long as they don't mess with the nucleus and say, hey, we're gonna censor you guys because it is owned by Disney, and it doesn't bother me one bit. But it just really depends on how they're gonna do that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. Since it is Disney, they could censor them a little more.
Because all those Paul's things that Chuck be saying about
That shit is hilarious.
But what he be saying about when he's on the block and he's whatever, and Shaq be setting him up for saying these Paul's
setting them
things.
up just all the time.
Is that still gonna happen? Who knows?
That's great. That's great. All right, cool. I just had to bring that up. I know Amul was a big fan of Inside the NBA too, so he probably has some thoughts on this.
Is that his favorite? And NBA TV also is their one? Is it two favorite? Which one is it?
He says,
mess with your move.
He says Dion, be kind.
I can't do that. I can't. I have no remorse.
But what was I? Oh yes. So, anyways, we'll see what happens there. Again, like you said, it's different channel. Unless they get filtered, everything should be at least pretty much similar. But it was just that's crazy that Ernie worked at one job for that damn long. He had been there for the whole time. I was like, holy shit.
Hairline through it too. Shout out to Ernie Johnson. That's the homie, man.
And I saw like a video that said that Ernie is black or whatever. It's obviously like a made up video.
He's got a little, he's invited to the cookout, as people say.
He's invited to the cookout.
He knows how to season his food.
And all of you are invited to our cookout tomorrow. Clubber D, hit him with the info.
You're right about the burp. All right, I'm back. Okay. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Ball and Buzz will be back for the combat special. We'll be talking all types of ish. Okay. I don't know who wrote who I'm talking about on one. I ain't talking about all them damn fights. No, I know what I'm gonna be talking about. And the big story we'll be talking about is Keyshawn Davis's fight has been called off because he missed weight by 4 pounds. And I'm gonna give you why I feel about it tomorrow, but I'm not happy. You're the businessman. You're not acting like a businessman. I know the play that you're doing. I know the play. I respect it, but I don't like the way you're going about it. Okay. You're bringing everybody back to Norfolk. You are the pride of Virginia. People are coming out to see you. You can't do this. You cannot let this happen. And you cannot blame Dos Santos for this because it was you that were 4 pounds overweight. I hate it as you. I'm a big fan, but I got to keep it 100. You should not have came over 4 pounds overweight. I saw the interview that you did before. You kind of had us going when you're going back and forth with Abdullah Mason. Now it's a fight I would love to see down the line, but it's not going to happen. If you're going to move up, I'll let you guys know tomorrow how I feel.
Yes, sir. That is a great promo. And I did put on there that you were going to talk Keyshawn Davis. I also put, I thought you wanted to talk about the Charlo Plant situation.
It's a lot. It's a lot of, so there's a lot. There's some teasers. I'm going to talk about Teofimo, Duck and Devin Haney for $11 million. The reasons why, which are completely BS. We'll touch on Plant and Charlo. As far as the fight in Japan, nah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I just saw it was a title fight. So
I can tell you who's going to win. I know that. Someone's name is hard to pronounce. But let's see. You might get a live reaction from us because Wardley is fighting Hooney tomorrow over in Europe in England. I'm gonna try to. I think it might be on when we're on it. It might be at 5:00.
Cool.
And I'm gonna announce the next big watch party, which will be in July. I'm gonna announce that too. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all better tune in tomorrow. If you're not tuning in tomorrow, what are you doing on a Saturday at 4:00 p.m. Eastern time? Are you picking your nose? Okay, are you picking your ear? I'm not gonna mention another place you could be picking, but you should be picking us to watch tomorrow at 4:00. Hey, see, I bring that back around.
That was good. Bars.
Hey,
Bars. I like that.
How
Yes.
you for promo, man. What's up?
He is right. Yeah, no, you got the wrestling promo down now. He is right. Catch us tomorrow. Ballin' Buds, BALLANDBUDS. Please make sure you subscribe. Also, support my brother's new channel on YouTube, Clubber D. Very easy to
Slowest
find.
growing channel on YouTube. Slowest growing.
I mean, you already got 33 subscribers, and we only got 172 on ours.
I think it's like 40 now. I think it's like 40
catching
now.
up. But anyways, yes.
It's sports. It's a little different shit. That's all it is.
Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Again, hit that like button whether you're watching on live or on the replay, and tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. Clubber D the Combat G's Combat Sports Special, UFC 316 boxing for Clubber D the Combat G with his wrestling promo. I am yours truly, Omar the Sports Professor Fonseca. We will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. Holla. 5,000.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure four. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat close. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You can't